Greetings, graduates, and congratulations on achieving this momentous occasion in your academic career. Although I can't be there to congratulate you in person, I am deeply honored to be able to participate in this special day and share a few words with you. That I am talking to you through a video screen is certainly a sign of our times. But another sign of our times is the resilience, innovation, and determination that we're seeing in Minnesota right now. And thinking back to my own time in graduate school, I know that resilience, innovation, and determination are all qualities that you know well and have mastered as you've reached this moment. And while we all mourn the fact that we can't be together in person at times like this, we can still take this chance to celebrate. We celebrate not only your past achievements that have brought you to this moment, but we also celebrate the opportunities that lie ahead as you transition to the next steps of your careers. I understand that it can be difficult to see the opportunities as we are confronted by sobering news every day. In my role, I certainly have experienced many difficult days recently, and my goal here isn't to make light of a serious situation. But let me share some of the shifts that I'm seeing that will create opportunities for those of us working in the areas of food, agriculture, and natural resources. Minnesotans are learning about and gaining new appreciation for things we might have taken for granted just even a few months ago. We are learning about the importance of a stable food supply chain. As certain items become hard to find at the grocery store and meat processing facilities shut down due to illness rates, there is renewed interest among the general public in where our food comes from. Many of us are growing our own victory gardens or investing for the first time in the local CSA. And just yesterday, I read with interest an article on a Minnesota hog producer who took to Facebook to sell his animals and found overwhelming interest. We are gaining a newfound trust and appreciation for the scientists who are developing healthcare models and vaccines. In fact, science has taken a whole new trust position in our lives as we rely on data and models to guide our societal decisions to flatten the curve. We are also witnessing a significant transformation in people's appreciation for getting outdoors. When I started this job, one of my top initiatives was to connect people to the outdoors. I talked a lot about the health benefits that come with spending time outside and all the new science documenting these benefits. Today, we are seeing Minnesotans strongly embrace outdoor activities, often in record numbers, to manage stress and anxiety brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, and in order to find solace in nature. Finally, we are experiencing the value of coming together across disciplines and sectors to solve complex problems. Minnesota's response to COVID-19 is defined by the high degree of collaboration across state agencies, academic institutions, public health facilities, and the private sector. We are seeing Governor Walz's vision of One Minnesota in action. These new societal shifts are one of the positives during this time. However, our work at the DNR has always attempted to adopt new technologies and new ways to approach our work in interdisciplinary areas. Many of our employees, and many of them are CFANS graduates, come to us as technical experts in their field. We place a high value on those specialized skills, and we strive to blend them in ways that achieve the best outcomes for Minnesota. We know that natural resource issues often require an interdisciplinary approach. Our agency mission, which encompasses protection of natural resources, outdoor recreation, and commercial use of natural resources, embraces that interdisciplinary approach. While some see conflicts in these purposes, I see opportunity. Our staff and stakeholders represent a diversity of perspectives and values, and we all share a passion for Minnesota's outdoors and natural resources. Our opportunity is to bring together this passion, diversity of perspectives, and robust discussion to find the best outcomes for Minnesotans. All too often, natural resource issues are framed as issues that divide us, whether that be a rural versus urban frame or a pro-job versus pro-environment frame. Forging Minnesota's future does not require picking winners and losers. It requires us to work together. Issues such as climate change, groundwater sustainability, and biodiversity require us to be adaptable and have people with varying perspectives, expertise, and talent working together. For instance, we have ecologists helping us manage rare species in state parks, climatologists helping us redevelop flood-prone roadways, and foresters helping us create cold water refuges for fish. Your work, whether in research, policy, or management, is certainly critical in today's world, and I would encourage you to think broadly about how your ideas will cross disciplines and solve complicated problems. I'd like to share a brief personal story about this interdisciplinary approach. On the day Governor Walz appointed me, I, Tom Peterson, the Department of Agriculture Commissioner, and Laura Bishop, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency Commissioner, were put in a car together to drive to the town of Hastings, where our appointments would be announced at a small family farm. It was by design that the three of us were put together that day. It was so we could begin the process of not only getting to know each other, but also begin sharing and working the challenges that we face together. Today, the three of us still continue to meet regularly to talk about the interdisciplinary work we share. And it's notable that the three of us, along with a number of other state agencies, serve on the governor's climate change subcabinet, an acknowledgement that addressing climate change falls on all of us. And here's one more example that I think illustrates the interconnectedness of our work. Ag Commissioner Tom Peterson and I occasionally share a stage or a town hall room. Many of these meetings are primarily attended by farmers. So you'd think that Commissioner Peterson would be the star of the show, while I play the supporting role. The truth is, I find myself answering a lot of farmers' questions about groundwater, flooding, buffer strips, deer populations, and chronic wasting disease. At one recent meeting, after I spent nearly 45 minutes responding to farmers' questions while Commissioner Peterson sat quietly next to me, the meeting moderator interjected. Say, does anyone have questions for Commissioner Peterson? You know, the Commissioner of Agriculture, Tom Peterson. The reality is, to the farmers in the room, all their questions are agriculture questions. The division of labor between the Department of Ag and DNR isn't relevant to resolving their questions, as long as their questions are resolved. And that's precisely why we travel and work together. The future of managing natural resources and recreation will involve innovation, technology, and multidisciplinary approaches. I have often said that as we manage through change at the DNR, we should not just consider who is at the table, but ask the question, who isn't at the table? As you take the next steps in your professional journey, I encourage you to embrace this interdisciplinary approach and ask, who isn't at the table? We know that the big problems of the day will be solved not just by having the right data, but by having a diversity of people, a diversity of ideas, and diversity of innovation, all in the same room. Thank you for inviting me to share this moment with you. I congratulate you on the hard work that is now behind you, and I look forward to seeing the exciting work that is ahead of you.
Congratulations, friends, to all of us. We did it. We have our degrees now. We can all add a few letters to the front or back of our names as we please, and we can hang a nice diploma on our walls. That is possible. But there is more to that about this degree, and I'd like to share some of my past with you. 4 years ago, when I was new in this program, I was trying to give a departmental seminar on my dissertation design, or the experiments and the plan. But I faltered and fumbled because I was remembering the previous time I had to give a speech or a seminar to a bunch of audience. And that was during my middle school, and it was an oratorical competition that I had personally signed up for because it was on Harry Potter. As a self-proclaimed Potterhead, I thought it should be a piece of cake, and I entered in it. But then when I went up to the stage, doubt filled me, self-doubt, and I wasn't able to say anything that I had prepared to say. I knew everything and anything that I wanted to say was Harry Potter, but I couldn't say. I doubted myself. Nevertheless, 4 years ago, I went through that seminar. I did that seminar at twice the speed and did a very horrible job at giving that seminar. I still haven't forgiven myself for that. But today, I am here in front of you as the CFANS commencement speaker, and I had just defended my dissertation to an audience of about 90 on Zoom, of course. But that's a transformation. I'm pretty sure that you have also felt such transformations going through grad school at this time. Now, why am I saying all this? We have designed our projects in this past 3 or 4 years of time that we have been here. We have run our projects, we have trained people during this time, and we have brought professors as committee members into a single room, all really busy, for at least once every year, sold them our ideas, and then convinced them and built consensus. We did all that. We made researchers too happy and published our results as well. And we also taught classes while taking some, and we did outreach and extension. Why am I saying all this? There's a reason. But did we just do that much? We did even more. We stood up for things that we liked. We participated in the shared governance system. We marched for science, and we marched against the horrible and inhuman idea of taxing our tuition waivers. We did all that. And amidst all this, we have still maintained our sanity, loved, cared, and worried for our loved ones, friends, families, and everybody. We have also managed to do our productive labor and reproductive labor on a graduate student stipend or a student stipend or another job. Some of us even had dependents. But again, what does all this mean? This means that our diplomas are not just worth having on a wall and going to a university job in academia or to an industry. We've been prepared for life, and we've been given a skill set that is beautiful and it is bountiful. We have so much that we have trained in. Our career options are wide open. We could be managers, entrepreneurs, politicians, policymakers, advocates, whoever we want to be, and do a very good job at that because our training has been so. All that we need to keep doing is remind ourselves that we have been prepared for life in more than just trying to do an experiment in the lab and getting results, or in the field and looking at the results. What happens when we forget all this? We will doubt ourselves just like I doubted myself during that oratorical competition. We will fumble and we will falter. Or in other words, we will have imposter syndrome, and that is what I'm going to talk to you about. Imposter syndrome will conquer us completely and paralyze us. When we doubt ourselves, we doubt the people around us, the people who work for us and the people who work with us, and we would become terrible micromanagers, and that would not be a good thing to have as a skill set, So imposter syndrome is really bad. If we become professors, this imposter syndrome will make our graduate students pay. It will make their life a little less enjoyable in graduate school, and that is bad. Let me be clear. I am not suggesting that we be haughty, overconfident, or snobby. I want to remember Fong Li here, who delivered this address last year. She's also from plant pathology, by the way. And she said, quoting a Chinese proverb on humility, that be like bamboo, bending lower as you grow taller. And that was about humility. And I'm not saying that she was wrong, and I'm completely agreeing with her. But we must first grow before we bend. And imposter syndrome will not let us grow. I don't want to be ominous on this auspicious day, but I just want to leave you saying that we need to remind ourselves of our capabilities and our training. And we need to keep that in our mind and tell our peers the same thing over and over again and build each other up. Congratulations and hail to thee. You have done it. We have done it. And now let's go out there and build a world to our likings. Thank you once again for this opportunity, and congratulations.